when I think about the future, what first comes to mind is nuclear annihilation, desertification, and shopping malls full of fantastic products by Prada and Gucci and Swarovski, and appreciated only by cockroaches. I think what's going wrong now is a failure of empathy, a willingness to see others as other just because it's easier than taking seriously our ethical responsibilities that we have to them.
I guess personal greed, it'd be good to get rid of that so that, politicians perhaps think beyond their own little life cycles and start thinking about generations to come.
Well, I think I'm an optimist, but I think there's maybe one thing that's missing from the world, and I'm hoping that it could be, it could be made chemically and put into a drink like this, which is like a delicious drink. And I'll tell you what that thing is, it's empathy.
In my utopia, we're talking about something that's maybe not manageable, but I would get rid of borders, all borders. And then, because I do think, I understand there's borders and there's prisons but if we're talking about utopia, then I think humans should be able to go with, have the choice of going where they want to go in this planet.
And so for me, vive la différence, it's like the idea is for everyone to be slightly different and to have a different opinion. I don't want a world where everyone agrees, where everything is exactly the same, is a one colour. The more mixed up, the better. I think that's healthy for society. You can think what you want, you can believe in what you want, you can be whatever religion you want to be, you can eat what you want, I don't care. As long as you're happy, right? And I think that's the challenge that we have to do is we have to the challenge is to fight for freedom for people to do what the hell they want to do.
I think it would be a world where that was just fair. I think it would just be a world that was fair. I think it sounds like a bit of a lame thing to say, but I think so much of the problems are to do with situations that arise where it's unfair and people are either persecuted or left out of the situation, and I think it would just be hopefully a fairer place. Apart from myself, I would be emperor and I'd live in a huge palace, which would be fine.
In Ireland, I grew up in a very conservative, very Catholic Ireland, and we had a fantastic year because there was this huge outpouring of support for gay marriage in the country, and we had some couples in our studio that were really involved in the campaign, and for me to see that they can be not just proud but be able to celebrate their love, and in even maybe 15 years I've seen this huge change in the outlook of Irish people, and not just young people, older people, everybody. Nobody wants to be the old-fashioned conservative anymore. They want to be part of this movement. And that makes me hopeful because something quite positive has happened in a country that I saw was very conservative, very inward-looking and it has become much more outward and welcoming. So I think that makes me hopeful, at least.
We watch the news and it always seems to be bad things happening and you feel powerless and disempowered. And then when you talk to individuals, you realise that there's a wonderful thing that Garrison Keillor said, which is you're never far from the campfires of gentle people. And I think that sustains my faith that there's always good people close at hand.
It's by no means certain that everything will be okay. That's a challenge to all of us. If we want it to be okay, we'd better get our skates on.